Okay. Hello, everyone. Um, you should be able to see my screen. So this is the second part of the STEAM Services Assignment 2 videos. At this point, you guys should have already gone over the rubric, planned your plan of attack for this assignment, and your model should look a little similar to this. Hopefully you did the extra credit, so you have the pilasters in there. Um, but yeah, so this is what you should have at the moment. Um, I'm just going to show you guys just a couple specific features that I think are going to be helpful. So I'm just going to do it on a different project, um, just so that you can just see the basics of how to create this. So the first thing that I'm going to show you in this video is how to do a curtain wall that has a door. Uh, so, okay, there we go. So I'm just going to put down some walls real quick. Um, I'm going to put this into consistent colors so you'll be able to see it. Wonderful. So, in STEAM Services Assignment 2, you're modeling the first floor. Um, and in the first floor, if we look at our drawings, which I'll drag over to here. So I'm looking at the first floor drawings. We see we have plenty of curtain walls. Um, you have, or within our modeling area, you have AL5, um, AL6, and not yet yep, not yet. But you have AL6, AL7, and then also AL8. And within AL7 and AL8, you have AL7A and AL8A. So you have quite a bit, quite a different amount of curtain walls that you're going to have to create. AL5 and AL6 are curtain walls that you've made before in Revit Intro assignment, or at least you made it in Revit Intro assignment 3. So the ones that we're going to focus on that might give people a little bit of a challenge are going to be the AL7A and the AL8A. So if I click on this call out, so this is going to bring us to the curtain wall and storefront type sheet. Um, this is a specific call out that gives you the dimensions of it, that you will be following to a T. And then also it gives you some nice elevations of the curtain walls. So AL8A and AL8 follow this style, and then AL7, AL7A follow this style. So I'm just going to do AL8A for you guys, just because that is the harder one because it has the double door. Then you'll be able to do it with the single door. So if I'm just going to move this over to my other screen, you guys should still be able to see my Revit. Perfect. All right, so I have my walls. In your case, it's not necessarily going, or actually, I would draw the wall first and then cut through it. That would be easier. But to you. So I'm gonna have to make a hole in my wall. So what I'm going to do, again, like I said, you can do this. You can cut a hole in the wall. That is the specific side. You can leave the gap open, up to you, how you want to attack this. I'm going to cut a gap of 10/8 because that's what it says on our drawing. So I'm going to go here, modify. I'm going to do a wall opening, and I'm just going to draw a rectangle. And I'll modify its height, and its width. So the width is 10/8, and the height is also 10/8. So I'm going to drag this down. Right. 10/8. Oh, Okay. Now there we go. And can't change dimension segment to this value. Why not? Oh, you know what? That's fine. This is a good troubleshooting opportunity. Um, One of the best tools in Revit, when things aren't going your way, is to utilize a reference plane. Um, oh, that's because I need to be on an elevation. Give me just a second. This is gonna be, oops, wrong one. There we go. So to use a reference plane, all you do is, in this case, you can't draw them on 3D, so I had to go to an elevation. So I went to my south elevation, and right here in the architecture tab, you have reference plane. So all this is a um, think of it as kind of like an imaginary line, right? It's something that you can draw and you can later like lock to, like if you wanted to draw to a certain height, right? Like in this example, I want to adjust my wall opening. So because it wouldn't let me adjust it um, with numbers, I'm just going to lock it to my reference plane, which I set at 10.8. So now I know my wall opening is at the correct, um, what do you call it? The correct height. And it's already at the correct width. So if we go, we have a nice wall opening right here. I'm going to go back to my south elevation and hide these lines real quick. And then now that I'm done with this reference line, I can just delete it. It has no, it's there, it's just temporary. So my wall opening's here. I know it looks like it's not there, but it's because the other back wall is the same color. So the next thing I'm going to do is just put in my curtain wall. So it'd actually be better in architecture. Um, so you go wall. Oops, appeared on my other screen. Sorry about that. There we go. And then we're going to go to not defined curtain wall. And we're just going to place it right there. Might say things overlap. That's okay. The curtain wall is right there. And it's overlapping because it also it goes automatically to 20 feet. So this unconnected height, we know it's going to be 10.8. So we can just put that in there. And now it's going to go exactly where it needs to be. So now it's the exact height we need it. That's perfect. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to the architecture tab. We're going to go to curtain grid. So what this does, it allows you to add on the segments. I believe you guys should have done this when you added your mullions in Revit assignment or Revit intro assignment. Um, Same type of deal. What we're going to do though is we're also going to add in these segments, not just for the mullions, um, but to also kind of carve out the opening where our door is going to be. So I'm just going to add in all of the segments for the mullions and then adjust their width. So again, looking at the sheet and I'm doing this for AL8 and AL8A. Looking at the sheets, it tells us that doesn't really tell us exactly the dimensions, so we're gonna have to go find it elsewhere. Do, 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 do. But what you can do, you know the width of the door. So the door, let me show you guys what I'm looking at. So I'm looking at this drawing right here. All it tells us is that these segments are equal and the door is a certain width. Um, so, and the door is also a certain height. So we're going to go to the door itself. And so section 8, that's actually not helpful. That's just for the jam. So we're going to go to the door schedule, which, it's actually room finish. Door schedule is one up. Here it is. And so this is going to be the AL8 door. So we're going to look for it. We're going to go to first floor and oh, an easier way. So AL8 is on the, I can't remember which, if it's east or west. That's okay. Let's just go to our first floor plan. That's the basement. And it tells us right here, it's the east vestibule. So AL8 is our east vestibule door. And it's 5103 is the door tag. So if we go down to our door schedule and we go to east vestibule 5103, it tells us that, here, let me highlight it for you guys. East vestibule 5103. It's good enough. Tells us the type, the material, and then also the size. So the width is 7.8, the height is 7.4. It has this thickness. You don't really have to worry about that too much. And also tells us the materials and everything like that. So we're going to focus on the width and the height. So the width is 7.8, the height is 7.4. So if we go back over to our drawing, that means if we're going to have kind of this quadrant of 4 be our door, that means this segment needs to be have a wide enough for the door, the width being 7.8, and then this segment right here needs to be 7.4. Perfect. So now our door quadrant is equal. The next thing that we have to do is we're going to go back to the storefront detail. And it says that these two kind of sections up here are going to be equal. That means this needs to be equal. What you can do is go to right up here to your dimension button. You can click here, here, and here. Drop it down. Click on this, or well, click on your dimension, sorry. Make it equal. So now that's equal right there. And then the next thing that you need to do is this is also going to be equal. It doesn't say it exactly, but you can kind of infer it from the drawings. So what you're going to do is dimension it again. Right there. Click on it and make it equal. Oops. My bad. I should have done it this way in order so it doesn't move that guy. There we go. Perfect. So now we're going to check our dimensions again. This is 7.4, 7.8. Perfect. Our segments are in place and they're equal. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to remove some of the segments because we're carving out this hole for the door, right? So that got rid of those. And then go here, add remove segments, and those. Oops. Enter. Perfect. So now we have a hole for the door. No problem. So if we go back to curtain grid, okay, yep. And then we can add our mullions in right now if we wanted to. You could go all grid lines, and we'll add it all the way around. The only grid line that you don't necessarily need a mullion on is at the bottom. So you can just delete the mullions by hand if you'd like. And now we're all set. And last thing that we have to do is put in our door. So I'm going to go into door. And let's see if I have my glass door on me. I do not. That's perfectly fine. So I'm going to go to insert, load Autodesk family. This guy pops up. I'm going to go to door. Well, you have different curtain walls as well. It's not very cool. You're going to go to doors, and it's a double curtain wall, double door. It has two windows Um, yeah, you can do either or. Do, 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 do. Give me just a second. All right, so we're gonna go to architect. Oh, sorry. Insert, load on this family, doors. We're just gonna use this first one. Click load. All right, I believe it is in. So now we're going to select our opening. And here's our double wall. So you're not going to insert it like a regular door. So you see how I selected the opening. And then you can insert it right there and it will like dimension itself to fit inside. And that's it. That's all you have to do for the curtain walls. Remember AL8 and AL8A are very similar. Double check the dimensions. AL7 is just going to have that single door. But yeah, so that's really how you do it. And the biggest thing is that to make sure that you select um, the opening in order to insert the door. You'll insert the door into your Revit file, the same way of loading the Autodesk family, and but you're not going to place it like a regular door. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one where I'm going to talk about the filleting the walls.